Shalom, my friends. Got a letter here from Shelly Joe down in Florida. Sent me a wonderful letter asking me a question that I'm going to answer with the Odiot concerning Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 6. In the Aramaic Hebrew, that's Horvath, chapter 12, verse 6. She wrote me quite a bit, shared a lot, sent me a picture of herself, which I appreciate. It's always nice to put a face behind the name. And one part here actually brought tears to my eyes, where Shelly Joe said that, she was having some health problems. Her fever was up to 105 degrees. And Elohim said to her, "I can feel the love in my heart that you feel for me." That when I read that, that's what got me. He says, "I want you to tell everyone. I want you to tell everyone you can that I feel the same feeling of love for who I love and who loves me in my heart just like you do." She went on, and I'm helping her to spread that message to let you know, my friends, that the Father, when you express your love for Him, to Him, not only is He very well aware of it, but He feels the same. I wanted to ask you, going on with this verse, if you know what King Solomon was talking about in Ecclesiastes 12:6, before the silver cord snaps and the golden bowl is shattered and the pitcher is broken at the fountain. Do you know what these things are? Well, let's read it first from the HalleluYah Scriptures. Ecclesiastes, that's Horvath, chapter 12, verse 6, where it says, "Before the silver cord is loosed, or the golden bowl is broken, or the jar shattered at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the well, and the dust returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to Elohim who gave it." Obviously talking about old age, but you read that and it is kind of curious, isn't it? Now, the Amplified. This is where the Amplified Bible, if you don't have a copy, do well to get one. Because if you get the Amplified, or if you have one, you'll see that there are brackets around certain words, phrases, and inside the brackets, the Amplified Bible is amplifying what the original Aramaic Hebrew was getting at. So in the Amplified, chapter 12, verse 6 reads, in brackets, "Remember your Creator earnestly now," close brackets, "before the silver cord of life is snapped apart, or the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher is broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern, and the whole circulatory system of the blood ceases to function. Then shall the dust, out of which Elohim made man's body, return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return to Elohim who gave it." That, I think you'll agree, gives some more clarity. So let's look at the Odiot. And the first we're going to look at is the word for cord. Before the silver cord is loosed. And for that we can see that the word for cord is chevel, from Strong's number H2256, And the Odiot are Chet, Beit, Lamed. Chet is pronounced Ch, and Beit usually as a B, sometimes as a V, in this case V, and Lamed is L, so you have Chevel. Chevel is the word. First we have Chet. It's a picture of a fence. It divides things. It surrounds and protects things. It has to do with the resurrection, the net chetef, the rapture, and chai, spiritual life. It also has to do with the operation of the spiritual gifts. Beit, picture of a house. It represents Yeshua. And your house, not only your physical body, but also your bloodline, those who are in your bloodline, and represents family. Lamed, picture of the shepherd's staff. It speaks of the leader and the teacher of the flock. It has to do with protecting and steering the sheep. And it has to do with being yoked. In this case, to Yeshua. Aleph has to do with being yoked to the Father. Lamed has to do with being yoked to Yeshua. And it speaks of discipleship. So, cord. Verse 6, before the silver cord is loosed. In this case, it's talking about chet. Division. You're going to be divided from this world. Your protection, the fence that surrounds you in this world, no longer needed, because it's talking about the resurrection, the net chetef, and spiritual life, chai. Beit, your house, being separated from your physical body. And Lamed, being separated from your discipleship with Yeshua in this present tense during this lifetime. There's Chevel. Next, we see before the golden bowl is broken. Now, the word for bowl is gula. Gimel, Lamed, Hey. Gimel is pronounced G, like get. Lamed, as we just covered, is pronounced L, La. And Hey, in this case, is pronounced Ah. Gimel, Lamed, Hey, Gul, La. Gimel, picture of a foot, has to do with your walk. Lamed, picture of the staff, again talking about Yeshua being our teacher, our leader. He protects us and steers us. We're yoked to him, and we are his disciples, or his talmidim. And then Hey, a picture of a man with his arms raised, worshiping the Father, the breath of life being in us. Hey represents the fifth dimension of spirit. Now, so here, Gula, the bowl being broken, your walk on this earth being ended. Gimel. Lamed, again, your discipleship with Yeshua in this present tense, in this physical life being done. And Hey, the breath of life being removed, entering the fifth dimension of spirit. Now we want to look at the pitcher. Well, or the jar, the pitcher or the jar, shattered at the fountain. We're going to look at the fountain next, but for now let's look at the jar being shattered. We had the golden bowl is broken, the silver cord is loosed, the jar is shattered at the fountain, or the pitcher is shattered. In the Aramaic Hebrew, that's kad. The kad is shattered. Kaf dalet. Kaf is pronounced K, dalet pronounced D, kad. Kaf, picture of an open palm. It has to do with bending and allowing, opening yourself up to things. It has to do with taming and subduing the flesh. It has to do with the work of Yeshua and with the filling of the Ruach. If you're not familiar with that idea, the filling of the Ruach as opposed to the indwelling Ruach, we also have the filling of the Ruach. I covered that in a recent video titled Salvation, Past, Present, and Future. There will be a link to that at the end of this video for you. But here, the pitcher being broken, kad. We have kaf, you're bending, allowing, taming, and subduing of the flesh, the filling of the Ruach, the work of Yeshua in your soul, your living experience, being broken. It's done. This life being over with. And Dalet, that's the door. Yeshua is the door. Dalet represents movement back and forth between the door, between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. And represents the 4 dimensions of space and time. So again, the picture being broken, this life and your activity in it, what you've learned, time's up. It's done. The pitcher being broken at the fountain. The word for fountain here is mabua. Mem beit wa. Mem is M. Beit, in this case, is the B. Wa is pronounced O or U, sometimes W, but you have mem beit wa mabu'a. Mabu'a. Wa is pronounced W in this case. Mabu'a. Mem, picture of water, has to do with water, and the word is water in that it washes us clean. It also is a picture of blood. Yeshua's blood purchased us. Mem has to do with questioning things. It has to do with mightiness. Beit, picture of the house again. We covered that in our first, with the first oat, our first set of odiot. And Wa, the tent peg, I love that one. Pitch your tent with Elohim. Elohim pitching his tent with you. It's a picture of a nail or a hook, a tent peg. It has to do with securing things. So, Mabua is talking about you being washed by the word, being purchased by the blood of Yeshua. Beit, it has to do with your house, your family, or you being in the family of Elohim. And Wa, you pitching your tent with Elohim, Elohim pitching his tent with you. The jar shattered at the fountain. Your openness, or lack of it, kaf, your ability to bend and allow, to tame and subdue the flesh, the work of Yeshua in you, and whether or not you move, or you're moving through this door from the physical realm to the spiritual realm, that happens at the fountain, Mabua, which is, it happens at you being washed or not by the word, being saved or not by the blood of Yeshua, whether or not you are in the house of Elohim, his family, whether or not you've been pitching your tent with him and he's pitching its tent with you. It all happens there at that place. Ayin is tagged on the end of this word. Picture of an eye. Has to do with spiritual sight and vision. Whether or not you're watching, whether or not you are knowing, has to do with the word and his Ruach converging in your soul, in your living experience. So, here where we look at Ecclesiastes 12:6, before the silver cord is loosed, or the golden bowl is broken, or the jar shattered at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the well. I didn't cover that. It's talking about your walk here in this life coming to a close. And where you stand, whether or not you are in the house of Elohim, whether or not Yeshua has been your teacher, whether or not the Ruach is being filled in you, whether or not you've been taming your flesh, which really only the indwelling and the filling of the Ruach is what tames your flesh. You don't do it yourself. Whether or not you're washed by the Word, pitching your tent with Elohim, and so on. Koheleth is talking about the end of our life here in this earth and the transformation that takes place dependent on our walk and where it's been. That's our study in the Odiot for this week, my friends. As always, I hope and I pray that this information is a beracha to you and to yours. Thank you for your support. And thank you for sharing in the Father's Word with me, for letting me share His Word with you. Until next week, shalom, my friends.
Now 2,000 years have gone by, it's another working day. Some would rather let it lie, but the question still remains.